This is a video talking about the reasons that I've decided to cancel our Disney Annual Passes for the foreseeable future. And I know what you're saying. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Most of the content you've been putting up recently is Disney content. And while that may be true on the outside, what it actually is just videos I put up of our lives, so I have something to look back on later in life. I don't necessarily want to be a Disney vlogger. Actually, I definitely do not want to be known as a Disney vlogger. I just like filming our lives, and if you guys enjoy watching it, that's awesome. Thank you for your support and being here and hanging out with us. And if you don't want to watch it, that's great too. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be known as a Disney vlogger. And what I'm going to start with is a question that's going to drive a lot of people crazy. Take your hand off of the mouse, get away from the dislike button, because it doesn't need to come to that. But here it goes. How many times can you actually do the Haunted Mansion? I know what you're saying. There's no set number of times. You can do the Haunted Mansion forever. My purgatory would be the Haunted Mansion, just over and over and over. But I think I've finally come to the point where I can't do it anymore. And it's not just the Haunted Mansion, it's Disney. Disney is driving me crazy. Being at the parks used to be a fantastic experience where you go and you scan your magic band and then you go ride some rides, and then at the end of the day, you're exhausted and you go home. And for the most part, the parks were busy, lines were long, but it was manageable. Why was it manageable? Because we had the Fast Pass. The Fast Pass is something that I miss more than anything in this world. Lightning Lane is the worst thing to happen to Disney parks ever. And I'm gonna be honest, it's not because you have to pay for it, because forever I've been saying if Disney made me pay for a Fast Pass, I would do it. I'd be somewhere in like the $5 to $10 range. I think $15 is a ripoff, a blatant ripoff, a disgusting ripoff, a horrible ripoff. But at the same time, the Fast Pass was amazing. Managing your experiences was fantastic. Changing or finding new things to do, filling up your queue of Fast Passes for the day was one of my favorite things to do. We'd be walking around the park, everybody'd be in front of me, and I'd be thumbing through the app trying to find our next Fast Pass experience, and it would be great. We'd get everything done that we wanted to. For those that don't want to have their face in their app finding Fast Passes, you didn't have to, and you could experience the park. And for those of you who did want to, well, you could get a leg up on possibly getting that next experience, that next ride that you wanted to do. We never really got the big ones. Once in a while, we'd get like a good Fast Pass, but for the most part, it would be Pirates Haunted Mansion, it would be Tower of Terror, it would be the great rides that we really wanted to do. Not the Flight of Passages very often. Sometimes you might find a Smuggler's Run, but at the end of the day, it was just an added bonus to the amount of money that I paid. Now we got nothing. So losing Fast Passes is one of the #1 reasons that I just don't want to go back. We did do Lightning Lane once. I bought it once. It was early on. I've heard it's changed, but we bought it once. It was early on, and I have never been so angry about a purchase before in my whole life. We bought it super early in the morning, and I think for the entire day we could only have scheduled 3 different rides based on the availability. It was miserable. It was a waste of money. I ended up talking to a cast member who agreed and said that they had a lot of other people that had problems with it too. I have heard people had great experiences recently, and maybe it's fantastic. But I'm not gonna spend another dime on Lightning Lane. I want my Fast Passes back. They don't have to be included. I'll pay you $5, as much as $10, not $15. $15 is too much. So losing Fast Passes is like one of the big reasons that I don't think we're gonna renew, or we're not gonna renew. I've pretty much decided. On top of that, when you buy annual passes, they're so expensive. For the family of 4 of us, we bought one of the lower tiered. So it goes the Pixie Pass, where you could only go during the week. And then I think after that is the pass we bought, where you can go all week, but there's like a ton of blackout dates. And then the 2 passes above that are like you can go all the time, and then you can go holidays, I don't know. So with the Pirate Pass, it cost us $4,000 for the 4 of us to have annual passes for the year, which is roundabout what we were paying to come to Disney before all of this. But before we moved to Florida and bought annual passes, we'd come to Disney, we'd be here a week, and then you leave, and then you go do other things at your home, in your home area. When you live here and you've spent $4,000 on annual passes, it becomes this like, let's get our money's worth sort of idea and go to the parks all the time and not do anything else. And that's kind of the loop that we found ourselves falling into. Every single weekend, it would be, let's go to Epcot, let's go to Hollywood Studios, let's go to Magic Kingdom. Fine, we haven't been to Animal Kingdom for a while, let's go there. Let's eat this, let's go to this restaurant. And at the end of the day, even though we've paid for the annual passes already, we end up going out to eat and buying alcohol and food and snacks all day long. And then the annual passes that we already have paid for ends up becoming this gigantic ballooning bill. And I know what you're saying, you can bring your own food. And we did that for a while, but it becomes monotonous. And you can bring your own alcohol. And we've done that, but you can't bring it into the parks unless you sneak it. And while, yes, sure, not all the time. It's more fun to buy stuff at the parks. But this ballooning budget of going to the Disney parks is just unmanageable at some point. And now, not everybody is going to agree with that. I know of a lot of people who have had annual passes their whole lives and would never think of giving them up. And I think that's great. If Disney is that important to you, that you think that your money is well spent on annual passes, then go. Go forever. That's great. I've been there 1 year and I can't even imagine going anymore. Our annual passes expire in like 2.5 or 3 weeks, and honestly, I don't even want to go. We were supposed to go last night to see Christopher Cross at Epcot, but I don't want to go. I think more than any of those other reasons, the reason I don't want to go to Disney right now is it's so busy. Every single time you go, it's just busy. There's crowds everywhere. The standard rides that you might wait 20 or 30 minutes for are 45 to 60 minutes. So we don't do any rides. We end up going, walking around, and then leaving. And the festivals at Epcot, people love those festivals at Epcot. I used to love them too. But then after a while, you go to a couple of festivals and you're like, wait a minute, I'm paying $8 for a single scallop? Or I'm paying $7 for a little chicken teriyaki thing? Why? Why am I doing that? What chaos is this? What world is this that I think that's an effective use of my money? So anyway, we've been kind of back and forth about whether we want to drop to the lowest tier, which is called the Pixie Pass, which lets you go like Monday through Friday while Amanda and all the kids are in school. That makes no sense. I just don't right now see the value in spending $4,000 on annual passes to go to a place that is insanely busy, you don't ride any rides, the food is outrageously expensive, and I'm just, at the end of the day, not happy in the parks. So I think we've come to the point where it's time to cancel the passes, even though it's only been 1 year. I know eventually we'll have the option to buy them again, but I think moving forward we might end up going to like Universal or SeaWorld. I know it's not that great, but probably there. And then maybe, you know, in 10 or 20 years we'll go back to going to Disney. I'm excited about this. And as part of the canceling our annual passes, we've got like amazing Airbnbs coming up all over Florida. We're gonna go up to Savannah and finally start traveling like we really have wanted to do for a long time. But at the end of the day, we still have most of the restaurants at all of the resorts. We love going to the resorts. The resorts are like my favorite part of Disney. We used to plan entire trips around just hitting resorts and not even going to the Disney parks. So I think we lose the worst part of Disney and keep all like the best stuff where it's not too busy, not too crowded, peaceful day, chill out, hang out, have some food, and then go home. And then like on 99 or 100 degree Florida summer days, instead of walking around the parks, we can go walk around the resort, walk in, get some AC, bring our own food that's easy to get to, bring our own alcohol, which is way better than buying anything at the parks. I think I'm very excited about traveling. We're finally ready to travel because we're not locked into that, oh my God, how much money did I spend on annual passes thing. So that's all I have. I'll see you guys next time, where it may be an actual vlog and not just me sitting here complaining about things. Later.